Welcome to Drone Pilot MBA.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving headfirst into a really crucial topic, I think, for anyone running a drone business or even thinking about it.
Right. Business strategy.
Exactly. And we're drawing a lot from an excellent piece by our own Tony Marino, our executive producer, called Why Most Drone Pilots Ignore Business Strategy. Plus, we've got some other great insights lined up.
Yeah, it's a fantastic starting point because it really tackles that question. Why do so many pilots, skilled pilots, focus so much on the flying and maybe less on the business side?
That's the mission for today, right? To unpack that and really hammer home why strategy isn't just like optional, but essential for actually succeeding long-term, especially now.
Especially now, yeah. The market's booming. We want to lay out what that strategy actually looks like for drone pros.
Okay, so let's start there. Why the focus on the flying first? What's the pull?
Well, it's understandable, isn't it? You get into this, you're excited about getting your Part 107 certification. That's a big hurdle.
The first big step.
Right. Then you're looking at the gear. Oh, the gear. The DJI Air 3, maybe the Mini 3 for portability, or the Avata 2 for FPV.
Or the Autel EVO 2 Pro, the Mavic 3 Pro for that cinematic real estate shot.
Exactly. The tech is just so cool. And mastering the flying, getting those amazing aerial shots, that's instantly rewarding. It feels like the job.
It's the tangible part, the fun part, often. Capturing stuff you just can't get from the ground.
Absolutely. That thrill, the visual feedback, it's powerful. It can easily overshadow the, let's face it, sometimes less glamorous side of planning and strategy.
Like building a really cool engine, but forgetting to design the car around it.
That's a great analogy. Your flying skills are the engine, absolutely vital. But without the chassis, the steering, the business strategy, you're not really going anywhere sustainable.
Okay, so it's easy to get caught up in the tech and the flying itself. But you mentioned the market. It sounds like the opportunities are pretty significant if you do have that strategy.
Oh, significant is putting it mildly. The commercial drone market is, exploding. We're talking about a valuation around USD 29.9 billion in 2024.
Wow.
And projected to hit nearly 94 billion by 2033. That's a compound annual growth rate of over 13.5%. It's huge.
Okay, those numbers are serious. Where's that growth actually happening? Which sectors are driving it?
It's pretty broad, actually. Aerial photography and videography are big, especially, as you mentioned, for real estate marketing. It just shows properties in a totally different light.
Totally changes the game for listings.
Then there's inspection and monitoring. Think power lines, bridges, building facades. Using drones there is safer, faster, often cheaper.
Makes sense. Less scaffolding, fewer people at risk.
Precisely. Delivery and logistics is another massive area, still evolving, but with enormous potential. Precision agriculture, helping farmers manage crops more effectively.
Using data from the air.
Yep. And surveying and mapping, of course. Drones offer incredible efficiency and accuracy there.
So a lot of different avenues. But again, having the drone and the license isn't enough to just, walk into those opportunities.
Not usually, no. Competition is growing too. That's where the strategy comes in. You need to be deliberate.
All right, let's get into those key elements then. Based on Tony's article and the other sources, what's pillar number 1?
Defining your niche. Got to start there.
A niche. Why is that so critical when the market seems so wide open?
Because wide open means crowded. Specializing makes you stand out. Instead of being a general drone guy or drone gal, you become the person for, say, construction site progression monitoring.
Or the expert in agricultural surveys using specific sensors.
Exactly. Or maybe high-end real estate video. It lets you hone your skills, tailor your equipment, and crucially market yourself much more effectively to a specific audience.
Okay, becoming the go-to. How do you figure out what your niche should be? Is it just about what you like doing?
What you like is part of it. Sure, passion helps. But you also need to look at market demand. Is anyone actually paying for this service in your area?
Right, practicality.
And your equipment. Does what you have or plan to get fit that niche? What about the technical knowledge? If you want to do survey-grade mapping, you need to understand photogrammetry. Right.
That's the science of making measurements from photos, creating those 3D models.
That's the one. It's specialized knowledge. And finally, accessibility. Can you realistically reach clients in that niche where you are?
So it's a mix of passion, demand, skills, gear, and location. Makes sense. What do you do once you think you've found a potential niche?
Test it. Validate it. Don't just assume.
How?
Network. Talk to people in that potential client group, real estate agents, construction managers, farmers, whoever they are. Ask them about their needs, their pain points.
Maybe offer a demo or a small initial project.
Exactly. Offer do a sample job, maybe at a discount, to get real feedback and see if it resonates. That helps you refine your offering. Then build your messaging specifically for them and start creating portfolio pieces that show you excel in that area.
Got it. Niche down, test, target. Okay, what's next on the strategy checklist?
Branding. Building a strong brand for your business.
Branding. That
Yeah.
sounds great. Is it just about a logo?
A good logo helps, but no, it's much more. It's the overall perception people have of your business. It's about trust, reliability, professionalism.
So how you communicate.
Definitely. Your brand voice isn't expert, friendly, technical. It needs to be consistent. Your visual identity beyond the logo, website look, marketing material.
And where people see you, right? Social media.
Absolutely. A strong presence where your clients are. Instagram is often great for visual work, LinkedIn for B2B connections, maybe YouTube for demo reels.
What about a website? Still necessary.
Crucial. It's your home base. Shows your portfolio, details services, provides contact info. Platforms like Wix, Squarespace, WordPress make it pretty accessible now.
And making sure local clients can find you, like Google searches.
Yes, local SEO, Google My Business. Super important for attracting clients in your service area. And don't forget testimonials. Social proof is powerful. Collect and showcase those positive reviews.
Okay, so niche, brand. Now you need clients. How do you market effectively, especially if you're just starting out, maybe low on cash?
First, know who you're marketing to. Your target market again. Real estate agents, construction firms. Different groups need different approaches.
Right. You wouldn't talk to a farmer the same way you talk to a wedding planner.
Exactly. Then leverage those low-cost strategies. Social media is huge, as we said. Networking, actively connecting with local businesses, people in related industries. Go to meetups, industry events.
Offer those initial pro bono or discounted services we mentioned.
Yep. Great for portfolio building and generating word of mouth. Email marketing too. Build a list. Stay in touch with leads and past clients. Don't just disappear after a job.
And always provide amazing customer service, I assume.
That underpins everything. Personalize your approach. Build loyalty. It's often easier to get repeat business than find new clients constantly.
Okay, that leads nicely into pricing. This feels like a tricky one for a lot of pilots. How do you price strategically?
It is tricky, but crucial. The key is understanding the value you provide. Don't just charge for your time. Charge for the solution.
What do you mean?
Think about what the client gains. Time savings, cost savings on traditional methods, better marketing that leads to faster sales, increased safety for their workers. Quantify that benefit.
So focus on their ROI.
Exactly. Then you can think about structures. Hourly rates might work for some things. Flat rate packages for standard stuff, like a basic real estate photo package.
Project-based for bigger, more complex jobs.
Right. Or even value-based pricing, where the price is directly tied to the value delivered. That takes confidence and clear communication, though.
Should pricing change depending on the client or industry?
Often, yes. You need to adapt. A large construction company likely has a different budget than a small local realtor. Be flexible, but always be ready to justify your price with the value you bring.
Detailed quotes help there, I imagine.
Absolutely. Break down the costs. Be transparent. It builds trust and shows professionalism.
Okay, niche, brand, marketing, pricing. What about showing off your work? The portfolio.
Super important, especially early on. It's your proof, your visual resume.
How do you build it if you don't have clients yet?
That's where those initial strategies come in. Offer services to local businesses, maybe event planners. Partner with construction folks or inspectors who might let you document their sites.
Create case studies.
Yes. Show the problem, your drone solution, and the positive result. Present it all professionally on your website, social media. Make it look good.
Any pitfalls with portfolios?
Respect confidentiality. Always get permission before you splash client work everywhere, especially if it involves sensitive locations or information.
Good point. Okay, so you've got the clients, you've done the work. How do you keep them happy and coming back? Managing relationships.
It's all about trust and loyalty. Creating that positive experience.
Communication is key, I bet.
Huge. Clear communication from the start. Manage expectations, don't overpromise. Actively listen to what they need, what feedback they have.
Personal touches.
Go a long way. Attention to detail. Following up after the job to ensure they're happy. Maybe set reminders to check in later. See if they need anything else. Encourage that repeat business.
What if something goes wrong? Complaints happen.
Address them head on. Professionally. Calmly. Focus on finding a solution. How you handle problems says a lot about your business.
Definitely builds or breaks trust. Now, thinking bigger picture. Growth. How do you plan for scaling the business?
You need a roadmap for growth, not just stumbling into it. Set clear goals. What revenue do you want to hit? Do you want to expand your services?
Reinvesting profits.
Smart move. Reinvest strategically, maybe in better drones, new sensors, advanced software, or crucial training. Keep networking always.
Training seems important for growth, offering new things.
Absolutely. Invest in yourself and your skills. Learn advanced inspection techniques, maybe thermal imaging or LiDAR. That opens up higher value niches.
And manage that growth, right? Don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah, manage it responsibly. Know when you might need help, maybe hiring an assistant or finding reliable subcontractors you can trust for bigger jobs.
Okay, one last really critical area. The legal and regulatory side. This can feel like a minefield.
It can feel that way, but ignoring it is not an option. It's foundational.
Step one is the Part 107 in the US, obviously.
Absolutely essential for commercial work, or the equivalent rules if you're operating elsewhere.
Yeah.
And seriously, get drone liability insurance.
Oh.
Don't skip that.
Protects you and the client.
Right. Then you have to stay current on regulations. Local rules, federal rules, FAA updates, airspace restrictions, know where you can and can't fly.
Like no-fly zones near airport.
Yep. And rules for operating over people at night, remote ID requirements. These things change. You need to keep up.
What about flying over moving cars or crowds?
Specific rules there, often based on the drones category 1, 2, 3, 4. They determine what's allowed regarding operations over people or moving vehicles. It gets detailed.
And always keep the drone in sight, visual line of sight.
That's the default rule, yes. Unless you have a specific waiver from the FAA to fly beyond visual line of sight, which involves a whole separate approval process.
Anything specific for, say, real estate work? Legally.
Yeah, understanding copyright is huge. Who owns the photos and videos you take? Get that clear in your contracts. And include indemnification clauses, basically, clarifying who's responsible if something goes wrong related to the drone operation.
Okay, that's a lot to keep track of, but clearly vital. So, circling back to Tony's main point, what happens if pilots do ignore all this strategy stuff? Just focus on flying.
Well, the likely outcome isn't great. They'll probably struggle to get clients consistently. They might undercharge because they don't know their value, or overcharge and scare everyone away.
Hard to build a sustainable business that way.
Very hard. They'll find it difficult to adapt as the market changes, as new tech comes out, as regulations evolve. They risk just being seen as a commodity, another person with a drone, rather than a professional business partner.
Overlooked, even if they're a great pilot.
Exactly. Professionalism and business smarts are becoming just as important as stick skills in this market.
So the message is clear. The sky's the limit, opportunity-wise, but you need that flight plan, the business strategy.
That's it perfectly. Your strategy is your flight plan for success. Combine that passion for flying, the amazing tech, with smart business practices, niche, branding, marketing, pricing, relationships, growth, compliance.
That's how you really elevate your drone service business. It's not just about getting off the ground, it's about soaring long term.
Well said.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into why business strategy is just so incredibly important for drone pilots. We really hope this gave you some valuable insights, maybe some concrete steps you can take in your own drone business.
Remember, merging that passion with smart strategy is truly the key.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us. Keep on droning.